Algeria's approach to counter-terrorism and violent extremism is pretty old. You know, Algeria is a country that has to fight violent extremism as soon as in the 90s and follow the Black Decade from 1991 to 2001. So Algeria has an experience in the domain, and I can say that it is a pretty successful experience. Of course, there is no perfect model, there is no perfect template, but I believe we can learn a lot from the Algerian experience. So one of the most important things that the Algerian authorities did back then was the reconciliation process with the general amnesty that was given to all the people who were willing to lay down their weapon. And as a matter of fact, 15,000 people have been demobilized and they laid down their weapon. A very important feature of the Algerian experience is also how the Algerian authorities gave a voice to the repentant. I remember being a kid back then, but we used, you know, to have those testimonies of former jihadists on national television, and that was very important. Why? Because on the one hand, it helped in humanizing those people, and on the other hand, it helped on giving a layer of legitimacy to the reconciliation and the demobilization and rehabilitation process. You know, if you are a terrorist if you are a potential jihadist, you would listen more to a person who was, you know, formerly a jihadist, who had the experience, who is more legitimate in your eyes. And that was very important, I think, because it helped in giving, as I said, a layer of legitimacy to the reconciliation and rehabilitation process. Something else that might be taken into consideration when we think about PVE and CVE today is how we can help the former jihadists, here the perpetrator, to be rehabilitated in their life. And one of the things that have been used in Algeria was the professional rehabilitation. It was very important to rehabilitate those people professionally. So basically, the people who left their jobs were called back and took back their position before they left for the jihad. And I think it gave them a very important sense of dignity, a sense of purpose, but above all, a sense of citizenry. And that helped also. One of the other mechanisms that has been done, maybe not on a systematic way, but it has been done pretty extensively, was give these returnees psychological help. You know, we tend to think about, you know, perpetrators are being monsters and so on and so forth. These are human beings, and you know, many of these perpetrators were suffering from PTSD, from post-traumatic stress disorder, and they were, you know, helped in their psychological recovery.